Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with The Scoop News. If you're just joining via podcast, there might be some time where I'm just sitting here fiddling around. It's because I'm trying to share this with my other channels. This is an interactive news show, so basically if you have any questions, if you want to ask the scoop on any news stories that are out there, you can just type it on the right there. If you want to tell me how much you hate me, you can do that too. I'll probably ignore you. You guys, I got to share, and it's funny. I just got one of the best hate email or voicemails where I'm going to try to figure out how I can save it and put it out here. But this guy just goes off, and it's almost funny, but then it's sad and tragic at the same time. So if I figure out how to do that, I'll share it over with you guys. And let me share this on one more of my channels, and then we're good to go. All right. Just got an update that I saw as I was coming online in regards to that accident, the fatality over in Sarasota today. And it was actually a Ferrari, and it's a well-known individual. And hold on one second, let me pull it up real quick if I can. It's a well-known individual up in Sarasota that was fatally injured. And sometimes I got so many Twitter feeds, tweets. Whatever you want to call them. What is that? Ooh. I'll post a name later. Here it is. Steven Witzer. Steven Witzer is the man driving the Ferrari this morning. He's a well-known private lender in Sarasota. So that's who it says it is, but I don't think that's accurate. I'm going to have to check that out, so scratch that. Hey, you see my dog in the background, Dino. All right, let's get back to something else. And I don't know if I like what I'm seeing with that one, so let's hold off on that one and scratch it. Donna Betts, you know, for some reason, I have a girl that I know in high school. She's just got in an argument with another guy that went to high school here. She's been blowing on my email, calling me, wanting me to basically, I think, censor them. I don't even know if she's on here. Guys, I can't, and what's funny is she's very extreme in politics, and a lot of times I agree with most of the stuff she spits out, but she pisses off a lot of people, and she'll say, well, tough luck, you know, just don't like me, don't follow me. Well, the same advice. You guys are going to run across people that you don't like, and that may upset you. Writing me, asking me to censor them or delete them isn't the answer. In this particular case, I think she was there, and her niece or somebody had the gun pulled on her when Donna Betts did this. And I thought, I don't want to go into specifics because I don't remember, she was rambling on, but essentially it was terrifying for the girl, terrifying for my friend, and terrifying for the other lady involved and some other individuals involved. So they're really upset that Donna only got 30 days and she has to write an apology letter. And on the flip side, I've heard from a lot of people who have said that was a preserve. The next thing you know, the county approves the rowers there, and the rowers are blocking the highway. They're blasting their music. Is that any reason to bring out a rifle and threaten to kill someone? No. So I'm sure we haven't heard the end of that. If you're just joining, it's interactive. You can type any questions up on the right-hand side. It is live, and we are rolling. SCSO, they busted 11 people looking for the 12th one. I covered this yesterday. A few people in Venice, a few people in Northport, Sarasota couple. I did put up an interview where, who was it? WWSB went out and talked to the sheriff's office, and they said this is all part of the initiative to crack down on opioid. Oddly, I think they're a little off. They said, you know, this is really going to take a bite out of the opioid market for a while. I don't think so. You get rid of one person, you'll get another two that are going to show up. You know, it's good. It's the right direction to be going in, but we need to do more that's out there. And I think the sheriff's utilizing all the tools he has available to him for this type of project. The voyeurism, you know, it's funny. I put that out days ago, and you would think it's just came out yesterday, the way SNN and WWSB, Herald, and all those guys are running it. If you don't know, SNN and Herald are essentially the same company. This guy, their mugshots, I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's two younger people, and they're looking up at the camera like in that moment when they find out they're being videotaped. This guy, like I said yesterday, says that he only rented out to people who are 18 or older, and supposedly people knew he was taping them for to see what kind of sex is going on. I seriously doubt that. He's just another idiot that hopefully the law will catch up with him. In regards to the pier, I was listening to the city of Venice. God, it was going on and on. I don't know if you guys, the county's on today. I think Northport, was it Northport? I think, yeah, Northport has one at 1 o'clock, and the city of Venice has their regular meeting started at 9. A lot of it was taken up by Jeff Boone, who is representing a horse show out there. I forget their name. I go there all the time and videotape them. And a new development that wants to build 118 homes and all these concessions they want to make. But basically, they went back and forth for a few hours, and they wanted it to extend it. They wanted another 30 days to try to come to agreement, and the council came to 3-3 vote and decided nope, because the fourth person who wasn't there, which was Gates. The peer group, though, it was interesting. Two interesting things that came out prior to that whole Jeff Boone thing was where you had a council member who, Bob Daniels, who we all know. What about Bob? I put Bob on here all the time. He's great I love getting a good laugh out of the guy. He basically, God, I tell you what, I got to get this. I got to get the actual video. He's up there basically saying, I don't want to reappoint this guy to the MPO board because his character's unsavory. Basically, he's making this guy look like he's this big thug. His character sucks. His morality sucks, and he's going on and on up there on his, up there at the what do they call it? Where the council sits. I forget what it's called. They used the term today. They have a particular term for it. It'll hit me halfway through, but he's just hammering this citizen out in public. And it was somebody that John Hollick, who's the mayor, renominated. And John's like, I'm not aware of this. Basically, the guy was running around saying, hey, I eat with the mayor, so I can get anything passed. Or that's what Daniels was saying. It was very strange to see this type of conversation going on. And then you also had the owner of Sharky's come on there. That was not Justin's the son, but I think his name is Mike Pacoda, the owner. He came on and just hammered them because the pier is closed and it's not going to draw people. Until that pier is open, people aren't going to come. Hence, Finn's and Sharky's are going to feel the revenue hit there. And so he was emphasizing how there should be a pier fund, which went away. Basically, he was saying he was just hammering the city because he realizes that pier needs to be up and running, and it's essential for him to get the tourists there, which he relies on. Because a lot of locals, to be honest with you, don't go to the restaurant there. Good. I like Justin. I never met his dad, but they got some valid points. Now, the one thing I think we're going to see, I guess before, and I don't recall this even though I lived here, they did the rebuild. Mike Cecil's been instrumental in saying, hey, why aren't we going after the engineers, builders, and inspectors that said this was could withstand a Category 4? Obviously couldn't, because we were only a 1 or 2. Couldn't withstand it. How are they going to make up that $700,000? That's all coming up later today. Actually, it's probably already started. They took a break at 1:30. They probably started back up. I had to go get my daughter, and so they're going to discuss. Are we going to charge residents? Are we going to charge non-residents? If we do charge, what will the rate be? The bait shop will be open up to a certain point. Someone like Pacoda said, let's let people walk up to the bait shop and then put the toll after that. And it used to be $2 or $1. I don't even recall. I remember our 10-year high school reunion being there, and I remember there was a fee then. So we'll see what happens. We should have some direction that they'd like to go in. Nothing concrete, because with government, it goes through process after process after process. Let me see. It was another interesting thing. This guy that was doing some, I guess he's been exposing himself indecently several times to young kids, and I guess this time was to a young kid, and it just it scared the hell out of her, rightfully so. He was just arrested for DUI. And I'm still amazed at this guy. If you type in slapped at the top right-hand side of my Uncensored report in the search bar, put in Venice man or slapped, you'll find this guy. And supposedly, I put the comment that the lady made, he exposed himself in front of a little girl. And it's like, well, how the heck is he still running around if he's done this a few times? So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. Not sure what the story is, but something to follow. Continue following. Sarasota County put out something about flood zone information. Now you can find it up online at the appraiser site. I put the link there if anybody's interested in that. Usually, though, unless it's a lost dog, you're not going to see a lot of interest. What dangers lurk in piles? That was the story. That's the headline. What dangers lurk in piles? It had me scared. And I tell you what, the funniest thing happened. Not too funny. It scared the hell out of me yesterday morning. I go to open up my trash can, and I look in there with my flashlight because it's like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, whatever time, and I see like 10 rats. And all I could think is that damn debris. But my debris got picked up about 2 days ago. But this is a story that rodents, snakes, and rats and everything live in. I tell you, this area, if you live in Venice, and I know it's this, I gotta believe it's the same Sarasota, Northport. In Venice, the rats are out of control. I can sit out on my patio at night and hear them run across the roof, and you can almost hear them in the phone. Now, they don't come in the house because the dogs will catch them, and they've caught a few, but it's ridiculous in this area. It's a shame. I used to live in a house on the island of Venice, and they somehow found their way in there. Every night I would kill a rat. The rats. Rat bastards. All right, let's see. What else we got here? They also talked about standing water with the King's Tide. I thought it was really interesting learning about the King's Tide. I put 2 videos up. One I think I put out today. And they cover what the King's Tide is all about with the harvest moon and how it all works. And they said that it's annual. The problem is that it's more prevalent this time where it's caught people's attention because of the hurricane that was out there. Which one was that hurricane? Not Irma, not Maria, Nate. And he said because Nate was out there, it brought an even higher tide. The problem people are having is with the standing water. And I checked again yesterday. I have to check today. In Sarasota County, mosquito control isn't spraying. And I know we got standing water everywhere. And they talked about this. Up in this particular area, they talked about these new mosquitoes that are coming out, which are real biters, and a lot of the concerns that they're bringing to their neighborhoods. But I couldn't help but think, what is going on with our mosquito control? Because they're just not spraying. And I got to think with all the standing water. I remember driving home from USF just the other day and seeing my daughter, and there was just in the median there, I think I said something, a ton of standing water. And all that standing water, it's going to bring some issues to us, guys. Jabaz Span, again, if you're just joining, nobody's commenting. Normally I see comments up here and questions. I'm seeing nothing. It's interactive, guys. And I do have this new thing that I'm going to go with that'll allow me to play videos, allow me to show you guys stuff up there, and all while live. So I was going to do it today. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I got to do some more programming with it. Jabez Span, this poor 14-year-old up in Newtown, they're having another search this Sunday. I put the times and everything on there if you can get up there and help support it. I don't know. They had a search, a week ago, and it produced nothing. It was where his cell phone was last found. I think it's just giving the parents peace of mind. You never know, though. You might find him. I'm starting to worry about this kid, that something tragic might have happened to him. And you can see the parents are pretty upset about it. Rightfully so. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be with that? We covered that. The Sarasota first aid. This was interesting that the first aid departments are out there and they're offering training to individuals in case you're ever in an active shooter situation on how to do a tourniquet, how to save a life in case it ever does happen. And what's that say about our society that it's come to that? That we got to worry about if you're someone shoots you and blows a hole into your stomach because he's an active shooter. And it's just crazy what our world is coming to, what our society is coming to. There's more and more information that's coming out on that guy. I don't know if you guys saw it now. I think Newsweek even said something that now they're starting to believe that there is a tie to ISIS. And contrary to what some MSM's been saying, ISIS doesn't claim responsibility for everyone. They claim them for the ones that they truly are associated with. And there's a lot of weird stuff out of this if you guys go beyond MSM, like on my Uncensored report page. Let's see, the school lockdowns. This was interesting too. We've had a couple of lockdowns here. Now, and I'm going to talk about Venice specific, but even up in Sarasota, I think we just had one last week when there was a shooting at the Publix area. Remember the guy got shot? And when we have it in Venice, it's when there's an incident and they're concerned about the kids, so they say lock down. I think there was some issue with involving a gun like a year ago here in Venice. Then people take it seriously. If there's a lockdown, you take it seriously. You get the phone calls, hopefully, in Venice and Sarasota. Sometimes those phone calls don't come as fast as we would like them to, and they find out on my page before even getting a phone call. Then you get upset parents. But what this report covered is how some schools are doing it a lot, and maybe they're doing it unnecessarily. And so you're getting a sense of complacency where people might hear that a school is being locked down and they're not acting. People aren't as concerned. Parents may not be as concerned about it, and they don't want that out there. They just came across again about that Bill Jervey, Dr. Bill Jervey. Sorry, I'm getting tweeted. I get tweeter feeds from reporters all day longs. And Dr. Jervey, I'll cover that in a second. He donated $1 million to the Venice Library, so they're going to name the Venice Library after him, something like the Dr. Bill Jervey Venice Library. And I put out the press release in addition to they're considering at the Sarasota County level some funding stuff. And all these, if you want to watch it live or anything like that, you can watch it. It's right there on my channel. That's the other beautiful thing about the software that I'm hopefully going to start tomorrow. I can go live and anywhere. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever notice and wonder, like the local media here will say, here's a live shot out of Vegas or LA of a car chase. I'll have that type of software where I can do that too. Let's see, medical officials just with the headlights. I didn't know this. It makes sense, but with the mask, and I guess you see a huge uptick at Halloween with lice. Who would have thought? Putting on all these masks, and they tell you basically they gave some secrets in there. I think one was for 48 hours, put it in a bag, wash it before, maybe put it in the dryer before, and they go through these different things because it's a huge problem around this time of year with all these kids that are running around with an infestation of lice in their head. And obviously they don't say anything. And it's funny. You'll get your kid, and I went through this a lot in elementary kid school with them. You'll get your kid, you'll clean their head all out, you send them to school, but guess what? The guy next to him has lice. Those lice are hopping on their head. Next thing you know, your kid has lice again. It's frustrating. Medical marijuana, new medical marijuana clinic up in down in Northport, and this could be a good thing. I did not realize that we only had the one, which is this goofball here in Venice. And I say goofball because if you ever watch the guy, he's a little goofy. He used to remove tattoos as a doctor. He charges $250 initially. Down in Northport, it's going to be, I think it was $299 initially, and then $99 every 6 months in Northport. Here it's $250 each time. You got to come back every 3 months. Somebody said, oh, that's a state requirement. I was talking to another guy that was doing that, and it's not a state requirement. It's a, hey, let's get more money in our pockets requirement. The city of Northport is considering dispensaries. I think they're having the second public hearing today. It's going on right now, started at 1. And it looks like they're going to move to open a dispensary there, which will be good because the only closest one is down in up in Bradenton. So that'll be better for the people down in the South area. Venetian Walk, City of Sarasota approved handing over some of the funds. And I said, you know, this isn't getting any traction, 772 people. And here's the issue with this, guys. And I think I did a video report on that. City of Sarasota said, okay, we're going to commit X amount of money. I think it was 400. The City of Venice is committing money, now the Sarasota County. However, they have caveats. The City of Venice basically doesn't want the money to go towards it. They just want it to go on there so that the paperwork looks good and when it goes before the lottery. The caveat in Sarasota, City of Sarasota yesterday was, if you guys win the lottery, we get the money back. You're only using this to get the lottery. Now, if I were to go in and try to get a home loan, I'm only making $10,000 a year, but I tell them I'm making $100,000 a year so that I can get the loan. That's fraud. Why is it that these cities can go out and commit this kind of fraud? Because I can tell you, I've listened to the City of Venice. They have no intention and they don't want to put that money and give it to the housing authority. The City of Sarasota said, we want the money back. You're only using this to get approved, get a better positioning in this lottery process. And I'm not sure how the county's approaching it, but it's fraudulent. So here you are, you have these freaking politicians sitting there right in front of you, planning out, strategizing how they're going to fraudulently get money from the federal government. And nobody has any concerns about that. Nobody has any worries about that. I do. Let's see. And it's about their character too, guys. And I know everybody, we need a housing authority. That would be nice. It would be nice. You got what, 52 units, I think it said, or something like that. It would be awesome to have. But it goes down to morality and character of these politicians. And what they're doing is they're sitting there making it look like they're these superstars, looking out for the poor people, you know, trying to find them affordable housing, but they're doing it in a fraudulent manner, and yet they're coming off shining, looking like they're doing a great thing. What's our society coming to? The breakdown of society. I thought it was funny. What happens is when I post YouTube videos, I'll go out, I'll do a recording, upload it to YouTube. Then I got to share it onto my website, and it'll play, and I'll listen to it as it plays. And then it'll start my next video, and it does a sequence of videos out of order. And today they did the sequence of last Saturday's where I talked about the whole fee peer thing. And I had trolls on there that emailed me, that commented, and I have certain keywords that just silence them, because you get certain trolls, they say the same keywords to try to troll me and just attack me. So I put them in there so that it stays hidden. The goofballs think it's being seen, and it's only being seen by them, their friends, and me. And it's, you know, it's just a way to stop them from being such trolls. And so they even had me thinking that I didn't say that the $5 fee was for non-residents. I didn't go back and look. I just thought, wow, it was early in the morning. Maybe I did forget it. I don't remember. And they just went on a rage on me on email and hidden stuff. So then it came on, I'm listening to it, and I said, $5 non-residents. I'm like, wait a second, that's a video from the other day. I played it back, and I was right. So here's these guys. They're going onto these threads. They're hoping they're going to be seen. They're not even listening to the video, because it's real. I mean, it's obvious. I said it right at the one, just like 1 minute and 3 seconds. They're going on there saying this guy's not reporting correctly. He's a fraud. Blah blah blah, and people are buying into it. Even one person I know listened to the video, believed them, and this individual listened to the video. And so you get all these other, and you and I know a lot of the people are going to go on there and comment just off the headline. They're not even going to listen to the video. So these trolls know that. And they'll sit there and say, oh, Frank, you know, they're trying to make it look like they want to discredit someone. And the funny thing is they all refer to that hometown paper. And sometimes I wonder if that hometown paper, who's tried to get all the media after me to shut me down, who's threatened lawsuits against me, pays trolls to come on here and do this kind of stuff. And I got to think, and it's about morality, about character. I couldn't go on, and I rarely comment publicly on public forums. I couldn't go on and say, oh, this guy's lying, and you know, he's saying it's for residents won't have to pay it. He's saying they will, when clearly the person did in the video. I call it a case of Holics, because Mayor Holic does that. If you guys all recall the famous time when, not famous, it was a tragic time when 2 people died in the jetty. The very next day after that fatality, he was on camera with WWSB, with Jess, and he stated that this is an opportunity for us to take action and go out and put fences up now. It's an opportunity. And I thought that's weird to say that after a person just died a day before. So then we called him out on it. I called him out on it, and people emailed him, and he said, I never said it. And he did that because he knows people will listen to what he said instead of actually going out and listening to the video. He's done it a few times. I called, like I said, the Holics. He'll say something on video. You'll put the video there. You'll put word for word what he's saying, and he'll deny it. And he's gone so far as to call me crazy due to my time in the Navy. He said, what did he say? I wasn't even part of the conversation. Oh, it was. I dug up a bunch of research on him. Solid research, solid links, credible stuff. Basically concerned that he started a company after he became mayor, and his only source of income was through Schnook Haven, where he's making $180,000 a year. Seems very odd, blah, blah, blah. an ex-mayor, Dr. Ed Martin, brought it up to him, and he said, you know, I feel sorry for Frankie. I really love the fact that he went in the Navy, and I'd say that I think that's great. He was in the Navy, he served, he's a veteran. But I got to tell you, he's a nut job, and he's nutty because of his time in the military. His time in the military made him an idiot, made him a nut job. And then a week later, he was out giving a speech at a Veterans Day ceremony, celebrating veterans. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What is this guy? All right, so that's enough of that rant. I could rant all day long on issues, guys. How about North Korea? They're threatening to test a hydrogen bomb, this time not underground, but above ground over the Pacific. And they're threatening to fire missiles again at Guam. And then you got Iran in there saying that it's time we teach America a lesson. And they're pissed because we want to go out and we just propose some new restrictions on them. It's going to get messy there. It's starting to get nervous there. And then you add all that into the comments that Trump made after meeting with his generals over the weekend. It's not a good situation. All right, Budweiser, Clydesdale's coming to downtown Sarasota. I filmed them when they were here in Venice. It was a neat time. It was enjoyable. The kids loved it. You can get up close with the animals. You can see them on parade. They're going to be downtown Sarasota. I shared that link, and it's going to be on the 13th. So what, 3 days from now? If you can make it, great. Look down the page. I think I shared it last night. Halloween parade. I did this last year. The kids love it. You go there, and basically they do a parade, and they get all kinds of candies. They go around to all these different stores on Venice Avenue. They're dressed up. I think I videotaped the live parade last year. It was pretty neat. And, you know, kids just love that stuff. Remember the days, guys? I'm 50. Remember when we could go to school and dress up in a costume? Now, I used to hate it because we were poor. My mom had so many freaking kids, and my dad went back to Italy when I was like 4, so she was working 3 jobs. So, you know, back then you don't understand it. But she used to dress me up like a girl or a bum. That was my costume, a girl or a bum. I couldn't go out and buy a $40 outfit, but then I didn't have to worry about headlights with my outfit. All right. Report phones, purses, and shoes. Leading cause of flu. Phone, person. I can see the phone. How many of you guys, and be honest, you know, you guys can comment. The beauty of the live thing is you can comment. Not one. Marshall did a thumb up. Anyway, just say hi. Let me know you're out there. The phone. They were. I don't know if it was during this or if it was another show I was watching, but they were talking about bringing it into the bathroom. It's probably the dirtiest thing you're ever going to have. People go in the. Hey, there you go. Thanks, Sean. They go in the bathroom. You're doing your daily stuff. You got your hands all over. You don't wash your phone. You don't wash your hands before. You wash them after, hopefully. That's a whole other subject there. Jesus. Let's see. Northport, they're communicating about social media, FEMA social media, and how it's an important role in the recovery and process and making sure you're disseminating information. So Northport's a leader in that. They have Josh there. Josh, he used to be, look at that, all those highs there. Love the 941. Okay, Grace, hi. Longo, Italiano. Sarasota police officer, Sergeant Bolden. I don't know if you guys saw this video. Not a lot of people, I don't think, have watched it. 896. It's actually pretty cool. You got this guy in Sarasota, the Sergeant Bolden, and he does the Cupid shuffle with kids. You don't want me doing the Cupid shuffle. I can't. My wife, when I dance, my wife runs the other way. When I dance, it's like Seinfeld. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I don't know if you guys ever saw that episode. It's horrifying. Let's see. Sarasota County Fire Fest is coming up. I went to that last year. It's interesting. They go through all the different prescribed burns and these different things there. The kids might enjoy it. As a parent, you may not enjoy it, but you know what? I can't tell you how many events I went to with my kids that I couldn't stand, but seeing that smile on their face made it all worth it. I still do it. So, you know, it's weird. Once you have kids, it's like, you know, I work 7 days a week, hours upon hours, but I do it all so that they have a better life. And, you know, that's what we're here for. We're parents. Let's see. We covered that already. Jack Robeson. If any of you guys are friends with Jack Robeson, let them know. Let them know to check the video. That's the guy that Bob Daniels was just attacking, verbally just hammering his character, telling him that he's a schmuck and he shouldn't be reappointed. I was amazed. Let's see, the bad accident over there on Field and Proctor in Sarasota. I'm going to check. I don't think it was that Ferrari. I'll check once I get off here because I remember seeing the cars, and I think that's a different story. But it's a fatality. And they actually had to use, I don't know if I put it on there, they had to use the jaws of life to try to get the guy out of the body out of the car. So it must have been bad. And I know Munoz, he takes a ton of pictures. He's all over the place. I don't know how the hell he gets all over the place, but he didn't want to put the pictures up there because they were disturbing. And I think he works for the Herald. They went through and cycled through and put something that was more appropriate, which I put on that link. Patrol cars now have these new passengers. They got a ton of teddy bears up in Sarasota. I wish and again, because I live in Venice, the city, I wish our city was as active as the city of Northport, the city of Sarasota, and even in some ways the Sarasota County in terms of outreach when it came to the police departments. I know I know Chief Mueller. His kids went to high school. His daughter was a phenomenal volleyball player. Great guy. Captain Rose, I went to high school with him. Funny story there, Captain Rose. When I was 18, I was a bit of an idiot. I used to drink and get in fights constantly. And we were at a party in Pine Brook. He was a rookie police officer. He dated my sister in high school. And he came up, and I was trying to start a fight with him when he was in his uniform. Like I said, I was an idiot. He said, Frank, go the hell home. Let's see. Police were different back then. Police were different. Pete Walker, I think Walker, he used to come out to the Turtle Beach, hang out. He knew we were all drinking, but he wouldn't arrest us. He wasn't a jerk. How's that Sarasota Square Mall is closed completely? No, Sarasota Square Mall is not closed completely. They're open. I don't know how they're not. Yeah, Costco's still open, Sean. They are having, if you guys are on here, their Snap is there next week. I put it up on the 17th, I think. I'll share it again when we get close to it. Anybody that was impacted by Irma is eligible for Snap, the Snap program. It's caused a ton of lines. If you've seen up in Hernando, Hillsborough, it's been everybody. I mean, they're getting so much traffic for these Snap benefits. They're going to be here 2 days from like 7 to 9 or 7 to 8 at the Sarasota Square Mall, which is now the Westfield Mall. And, you know, my only concern with that is people taking advantage of it. And a good, you could just see that just with the high school lunch. SNAP, USDA is all involved in that. And how many kids went and got the free lunch, even though they probably didn't need it. Their parents are fine. They weren't impacted by Irma. But people take advantage of situations. And unfortunately, I'm seeing that with a lot of this Irma stuff. And I think I mentioned yesterday, the blue roof. I know this guy's house was not impacted. He's got a blue tarp on there, the free blue tarp, which tells me he probably went through the whole Irma process to get his roof fixed, which is fine if it works for you. I just couldn't do that myself. Deadly crash. Okay. How about that? Vern Buchanan. If you guys don't know, Vern Buchanan used to be our congressman for Venice, Northport, Sarasota, Inglewood. Now he's just Sarasota and Bradenton and up that way. He came on. He wanted to know if the thoughts on tax exempt status for the NFL. Now, some people I think have come on here and said they're not tax exempt. I don't think Vern would say they were, and the president if they weren't. So I think there is some tax exemption in there. Should they be? No. Should we do corporate welfare and fund their stadiums? No. But I think this is all changing. I haven't put it out. I did put it on my national page. Now since Trump said that this morning, the NFL guy came out and said, look, our market share is down, I think, over 2 years, 50%, over a year, 30%. They're talking about our tax exempt status. We want new stadiums. That's more tax dollars, just like we here in Northport are paying the bulk of this new Atlanta Braves stadium that's going up on February 2019. They're opening their doors. And people are going to start questioning, should we be paying for that? And again, I'm a veteran. I had some schmuck on there telling me I was an idiot because of I think that the national anthem's important. You know, a lot of vets, a lot of brothers, a lot of people I know lost their lives for that. And you want to protest, do it off the job. You know, when I was on a job, I couldn't sit there and do stuff that I wanted to do. I couldn't go out and protest. I'm on a job. I have to do my job. Now, when I get off the clock, I can protest. The ESPN girl, I'm fine with her doing whatever she did off the job. I don't know if she should have been suspended. But then, you know, there's a line. You can't sit there and say, hey, people with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, advertisers, don't buy their stuff, when those same advertisers are supporting ESPN, which is paying your paycheck. Common sense. All right, what else we got here? Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I put that out with the county. They have a special page. Hopefully some of you click through it. I did. And it makes it easier for people to go out and find out how to do injunctions for protection or restraining orders. You might say, is this important? I got to tell you, Domestic Violence Month, I can't tell you how many times domestic violence is on that police report. Most of the guys will look on it. You look for your buddy, see if your buddy was arrested, then you go away. I dissect into the details because I look for something else that I could separate out. And I've never seen, I think domestic violence is on there every day, if not a couple times. What the breakdown of society. Unsolved homicide in Sarasota. The Sarasota police are looking for help trying to figure that out, if anybody has any information. Voluntary cleanup underwater. I think you have to have some kind of scuba skills here, or qualifications, criteria. I don't know what it is, but it's a good thing to get out and clean the water. But I tell you what, that's one step cleaning up that stuff. That water is filthy. I surf in it. I cut my leg twice on 2 separate occasions in the water, maybe 30 seconds. Next thing you know, it's infected. $10,000 later each incident. And that water is just filthy. It's partly because those damn drains they approved 20 years ago. I was talking about this yesterday. If you weren't on the show, the big white drains, they're at Sarasota, Venice, and basically they take all the runoff from the street. I think I was talking about the dog poop story yesterday. They take all the feces, all the poisons, the fertilizer, and dump it right there in the water. And then when I see these poor tourists sitting there and playing in front of it, and I sit there thinking, do they not know that that's water is nasty ass, you know what, going there? And they don't. There should be some kind of notice, you would think. But what do I know, right? All right. I think that's it. A lot of national news. If you guys share this, remember tomorrow I'm going to try that new style. And again, what it's going to have is I'll be able to play videos. So like that dance thing that the SPD did. I could actually play that up on the screen. It'll be live, and you guys will all see it. And so it's going to be a lot more interactive. It's the program I use now to do my reports that you probably have seen, but I can't use that without a certain update or upgrade on my software with Facebook. I can only use it with YouTube. And even though I have over 1,000 people on YouTube, it doesn't get a lot of traction. People don't set up for the notifications, even though I do. Most people aren't like myself. Most attraction comes from my social media, my Twitter and my LinkedIn and my Facebook posts that I do out there. So that's it. Any more questions? So share this page. I think that's it. I'll put out any more information. I'll check up on that Ferrari. I think Carlos was talking about a different story. My dog is gone. I got to get back to doing some medical stuff. All right, everybody. Have a great day. This has been Frankie with The Scoop.